Hey everyone, this is Mei Yu and welcome to Tutorial Thursday. Last week I showed you how to draw Dory from Finding Dory. Thank you for all your likes and comments. Today, because more of you have been requesting for another anime drawing tutorial, I think I'll show you how to draw Natsu from Fairy Tail. If you want other advanced drawings like this, you can see this playlist. For easier anime manga tutorials, you can see this. And for my easy Fun2draw tutorials, you can see this playlist. I hope my different art can help you in different ways. Okay, so first I'm going to start with Natsu's head with a circle. I'm not going to make it too big because I need some space for his hair and also for part of his body and his arms. I'm going to show you how to draw him in this pose with the flames. Okay, so I have a round circle. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle, just something round is fine. And then I'm going into part of the side of the face. So I have this line on this side of the circle, and I'm going down like that. Then I'm going to curve just a little bit for the cheek, and then continue going down towards the pointy chin. Okay, so something like that. And then let's go back up. So we have the chin area, and then go up even more for the rest of the face. Let's just make that circle a little bit bigger. Okay, there we go. Okay, so once we have this line completed, I'll draw just a little bit of the ear. Just indicate that for now. And then we'll move on into the face. So I'll draw the middle line along with the two guides for the eyes. Let me make this a little bit lower. And then I'll erase part of the circle. Okay, so once we have the guidelines all set, I'm going to go into the facial features. For Natsu's nose, I like to draw part of the bridge up here, right up top here. And I'll start to come down slightly as a curve, just going off from the middle line. And then down here I'm going to draw a little, just a small little dot to show the end of the nose. Alright, now underneath the nose, I'm going to draw the mouth, and he's got this cool grin, so let's draw that. First, I'll draw the top line going across. Like that. And then I'll draw the bottom part, so it's going down. We have the corner of the mouth tilting up. And then I'm going to draw the rest of the mouth going across. And then finish up the shape. So you can see the mouth is quite close to the bottom part of the face. I'll draw a little line underneath right here to indicate the bottom lip. Okay, next I like to summarize the teeth. So I'm not going to draw every single tooth, that's just going to be way too crowded, I think. For this tutorial, I'll summarize the teeth to just two little lines. So here's the first one. I'll leave a big gap, and then the second line is just a small one on the edge here. Okay, I'll erase some lines in the middle. Okay, once we have this area done, let's go up into the eyebrows. So he's got this cool expression, and I'm going to angle the eyebrow on this side down like this. So I'm going off from the top eye guide and just go down, keep going down until I'm quite close to the nose of, or the bridge of the nose, and then I'll stop just a little bit. So I still have a little gap between the eyebrow and the nose bridge. Okay, now for this eyebrow, I'll go back up, starting from the nose bridge. And I'll angle it all the way up like that. Okay, once we have the eyebrows, let's go into the eyes. So on this side, he's got a line that goes across and it meets up with the eyebrow. And then it's going to go down like that. And then draw a very short diagonal line going down on this side. And then for the bottom part of the eye, I'm going to use this bottom line just as a guide, but I'm not going to draw exactly right on it. So I'll leave a little gap from this part of the eye side, and I'll go down and then across. But not all the way. It's quite short, so I'll stop right around there. And then the pupil is going to be very short and small. It won't be like a big pupil like my last tutorial. So this one's quite small. It'll just be like a letter U hanging out from the top part of the eye. And then inside he's got a really small highlight. And I'll make this nice and dark to complete it. There we go. So we have his eye right there. Now for this side, I'm going to draw a line going towards the edge of the face, and then it's going to come down like that. And then very similar to how I did this over here, I'll just draw a short little bottom part of the eye like that. And then the pupil, just a small one. With the highlight. I'm gonna fix this line here. I'll bring it back in towards the eyebrow more. It's always a good idea to keep readjusting your different proportions and lines as you go along your drawing. Once I have the facial features, I'll erase the bottom eye line. Okay, once we have Natsu's face all done, let's go into his cool hair. I'm gonna draw a circle or half a circle just around this area, and this is where I'm going to use this as a guideline to put the hair on top of his head. Okay, so right now it looks like all his hair is gone. It's all missing. So let's put it back in. Let's draw the hair piece by piece, starting with a line like that. I'm not going to draw all the details right away. First, I'm going to just plan out where I'm going to put each major part of the hair. So I have this line coming down towards the side of the head. And I'm going to make it into a triangle like that. I'll leave this for now. I'll go over here. I'll draw another line. So right now I have these 3 lines on top, plus another line coming down on this side. So I have this other triangle, and it's pointing right at this eyebrow. draw one more triangle on the side. Okay, so we have a few of these triangles going. Let's draw a few more. I have this one coming up here. And then another one going down. Okay, so I have these three, 1, 2, and 3 on this side of the head so far. Let's erase some of the headlines. Okay, so you can see the hair much better. So once we have these, let's go on into these 3 lines and flesh them out into more triangular pieces of hair. Okay, so I have these 3 now. And now I'm just going to start to build on top of this. Keep layering the different triangular pieces of hair for more layers and for more depth. So I have this big one between these 2. Let's draw another one in this area. Okay, between this area, let's draw another bigger curved triangle piece, like that. Okay, so basically these pieces are kind of like the hair that's in the center or in the middle of the head. And now for the outside part of the hair, let's draw some bigger triangles. So I have this piece coming out. Another one by the top of the ear. I'll draw a long one coming down the side of the face, right here. Okay, we have this side of the head all done. Let's move up. If you want to see me draw another fairy tale character in 1 minute, real time, from memory, you can see my recent Fun Friday video. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so once I have all the different shapes of hair all done, I like to go in and draw a few of these small lines in most of the pieces. So this is really good to help break apart the big spaces, and that makes the hair more like hair, more natural. And please let me know if you are a fan of fairy tale, and also which anime is your favorite. Let me know if you've been suggesting a fairy tale character, and also which character would you like to see me draw in the future. I cannot promise to draw every single request that I get, but I'll try my best to draw the ones I can. Okay, so we have his head all done. Let's just go into the ear a little bit. I'll draw a few little lines inside for detail. Alright, now for his pose. So he's got this really cool pose, and I'm going to show you how to draw his upper body with the arms and the flames, as well as his outfit. So he's got this really big scarf. I like to draw the body underneath So that gives me a place to put the clothing around the body. And I think that'll make your drawing look more realistic. Okay, so let's imagine his neck. It's like a cylinder coming down, and then I'm going to draw his shoulders and then the chest. So the chest could be a shape like that. This is just a middle line I'm drawing for reference. Alright, so I'm drawing this chest. And let's imagine this arm. So the shoulder is going to be represented by a ball here. I like to draw these things for joints in my characters, so that helps me remember the type of joint that this area would have. And then his arm comes out. This is the elbow, and it goes in to form the hand. For this tutorial, because his hand is all hidden with flames, I'm not going to draw the hand so much. I'm just going to draw this to represent the position of the fist, but I'm not going to draw the individual details inside because of the flames. It's going to be covering those details. This arm will be out, and out like that. So again, this little area just to represent where the hand would be, so that'll help me with the flames later on. Okay, now his body, let's go back into that. It's going to be a little bit bent. Alright, I'm not going to draw the entire body, just the upper half. Okay, so once we have the basics placed for the body, I'll go ahead and get into some of the details and the clothing. So his scarf goes around the neck and below the chin and around the jaw and this part of the face. Basically, I'll just repeat this line that I drew, and I'll keep layering that, so it'll get bigger and bigger. Okay, so once we have the lines around his neck, I'll go into the ends of the scarf. So this piece is coming out from behind, and it kind of just flies away behind him. So like that. And I'm drawing the end of the scarf. So these little thread things coming out. Okay, now I'm drawing the texture inside the scarf. So I have these lines. And the scarf is kind of bent, so then the lines will continue on the side. I'm going across for more detail. Alright, so we have the one end. Let's go into the other side here. So come out on this side. Now I'm drawing the details inside the scarf. So I'm going to add these short curved lines for more detail in the scarf. Okay, once we have the scarf done, let's add some muscle to his little arms here. So let's beef him up. I'm gonna start with a curve for the shoulder muscle. And another curve underneath. Okay, now from this point here, I'm going to draw a slight curve, and it's going to go all the way down towards this point, which is the elbow. And the elbow would have this kind of squarish end to it. And then from this part in the elbow, I'll draw the lower arm coming out. It's a curve until it goes into the bony part of the wrist. Okay, so he's got lots of muscle in here, and then it's gonna just go flat. Just make this part of the wrist a little bit better. Alright, so we have the underside of the lower arm. Let's draw the top part of this piece. So right where he has his arm bent, he's got a lot of pressure in this area, so that's why I'm drawing the lower arm muscle kind of bunched up right near the inside part of the elbow. And then as we go towards the wrist, the line will go down. So this part is the wrist, and it's much smaller than the muscular part of the lower arm. I erase some of these lines so you can see it better. Okay, now for his bicep. So I'm going to draw a curved line like this, and it goes right in towards the armpit, which should be right around here. So I have this bulging muscle right there. And then it doesn't hurt to draw a curve like that just to really show the muscle more on that side. And then usually I like to draw this part here, this line that goes around the arm muscle, and it really shows the bony part of the elbow more. Okay, so we have that arm. Let's go into this arm. This arm, because of the perspective and the pose, will be quite different. Let's draw a curve for the shoulder muscle. And then immediately after that, I like to draw another curve for the bicep. So the upper arm, this is part of the shoulder muscle, and then the bicep, so the round curve like that. And because this time you're going to see the upper part or the top part of the lower arm, I'll draw a curve coming out like that, and then draw another curve coming out like this. So this part is quite wide. Go around and go in towards the fist. So the fist is like right around here. And if any of you want more practice with drawing hands, you can see some of my other manga and anime tutorials, and even some of my Fun2draw chibi tutorials, so you can learn how to draw different characters with different hand poses. For today's tutorial, I don't want to draw many of the hand details, because of the flames, which is coming up. The flames are going to go right over the fists. And because of the details in there, I don't want to draw too many of these little details because I think it's going to look too busy. So instead I'll just leave the hands as is for now, and we'll draw the flames on top. And there's no like exact way to draw fire. This is just how I like to draw it, but there are many different ways to draw cool looking flames. For this tutorial, I'm just going to draw these little squiggly lines like that. Just repeat them. So I have this squiggly line, and I'm going to work my way down towards this part of the drawing, and that's where I'm going to draw looser curled lines to make a fireball. Alright, so once I have the fist kind of all closed off with the fire, I'm going to erase these lines in here. I'll erase part of the arm that's behind the flames as well. Okay, so we have this really interesting looking shape. To make it look more like fire, I like to draw some more of these really flowy, curvy lines. And maybe the inside has some more of these little details, just to give it more energy, more flow. I'm gonna change this shape a little bit. Okay, so once we have this fireball done, let's go into the other one. And then I'm drawing these curved lines for flames that are kind of leaping up and out. Okay, so once we have this shape all enclosed, I erase these lines for the fist. Okay, then I'll draw a few more of these little details inside. And I'll add a few more of these little wisps of flames just around here and there. Okay, once we have those done, let's go back into the body and let's draw his chest, some of the ab muscles in here, and then his outfit. So I'm starting right by the shoulder. This is part of his outfit. I'll draw the arm opening like that, and then the opening in the front. And then part of the other side of his outfit. Okay, so once we have his clothing, let's go into the chest here. And I'm gonna follow this middle line for the chest muscle. So I'm just gonna draw this dark curve, and that's where it's gonna divide in the middle. This is one side, and then the other side is kind of hidden. Okay, now I'm gonna go into the abs just a little bit. So just imagine the middle line going down like this, and draw little curved lines going down, and then he'll have a few lines going across to indicate the muscles. Okay, one more thing I want to do. Let's draw this symbol on his shoulder. So I'm going to simplify a little bit for this tutorial. I'm drawing the curve going up, and then 2 small points. This side I'll draw a bigger point like this. Go in, come out as a curve, go down, go up a little bit, and then make this shape. So I'm going to draw one point like that. Let's draw another one underneath. And then finish up the design. Okay. I'm going to make this eye a little bit more narrow. Let's bring this bottom part up just a little bit. Okay, so this is how you can draw Natsu from Fairy Tail step by step. Please let me know how you feel about this tutorial, and thank you for supporting art and my Fun2draw channel with your likes, subscribes, and by telling others about Fun2draw. I'll see you every week on Tutorial Thursday and Fun Friday, and let me know which other characters you like. There you go! And if you want to see more similar videos like this in the future, then hit that like button. The number of likes on a video really helps me determine if I should continue a type of video or not, because I have so many different types of requests. So this really tells me if more of you want to see more of this particular type of video.